Hi, welcome back to my channel. This is Jennifer Scrapping Kane. Today I'm sharing the final layout of the wedding kit, and I will also show you towards the end what I have left of the kit and how the layouts actually go in the album. I know most people are curious how the layouts fit together since I do landscape and portrait together. So it'll show you how close together they really are in the album and how easy it actually would be to turn the album and look at the layout if you choose to. And if you don't, you can just kind of tilt your head and still see the layout. Um, so here I'm going to start with the wood grain background for this layout. And basically that's all the pattern paper I use besides what goes behind the photo and the pieces that I tore for the sides. Everything else is pretty much this cut file here that's Mr. and Mrs. And I got this from Not Just for Boys, so it was already cut. So I had to use it at the size that it was cut at. Luckily, it fit across the layout as 11 inches. And I was able to put a little ampersand in the middle of it. So I'm just using Shimmer's paints. I'm using Frosty Buns and oh, what blue did I end up picking? I picked Frosty Buns, but it's lighter, and then a darker Oaky Bear blue is the other blue color I chose for Mr. And sorry, my glare of the light is blocking the painting. I'll have to get better at that or use a different paper to do my painting. Not really sure what to do about my light. I really can't put another light in my room at this moment in time, but I guess I'll just have to deal with it. You can see it when I pull it up to you that it is blue, not white. And I did it pretty fast. I sped it up just because the video would have been really long with the kit reveal and the albums at the end. So I'm just speeding it up. I just used the paintbrush and the Shimmer's paint, and this is just regular cardstock. It's not gessoed or anything like that. It does warp the words just a little bit, but I glue them down with liquid glue, and in the album, they're actually flat. And you'll see that when I flip through the album that they're totally fine. And they were thick enough I could have added play foam behind them, but in all honesty, I didn't want to add any more bulk to the layouts that already, since so many of the other ones have play foam and everything on them, I decided to go ahead and just leave this one flat. So the misses, I'm using, what is that, Antique Linen, I think is what that one's called. And it's like a peachy orange color. It actually, Antique Lace is what that one's called. It actually matches this collection perfectly. And in the close-ups, it really doesn't look peach either. Blue is really hard to get pictures of. Anytime you have blue in the layouts or the photos, it throws off the lights. So I tried my best, but it is a peach color in real life. And what am I doing? Oh, I'm splattering. So I'm going to use the same paints to splatter on the background. I did not splatter the peach. I only splatter the blue, mainly Oaky Bear blue, the darker one. I don't think I come in, maybe I come in with Frosty Buns. I'll have to wait and see. But I don't think so. I think I only use the Oaky Bear blue. And I'm just splattering it around. And I let it be heavier in some spots than other spots. I just want it to be all over. And then I was trying to see if I could use this here to do the edge, kind of like the inking that I do with black ink. But instead of doing that, I used the Shimmer's paint and just let it soak into the paper just slightly. I didn't put it completely into it, just the edge. And it actually turns out really cool. And I'm pretty sure you can see it in the close-ups. I was just using my fingers to rub it in if it was a little bit more in one place than the other. And then here I'm spreading it out a little bit more because I want it to be behind the photo. And the photo is going to actually have a very large photo mat on it. And so a lot of this is going to be covered up. But I still like how it looks, so I'm okay with it. Cleaning it up. and Shimmers cleans up very easily, just a little bit of water and wipe it up. So here's the photo, and I'm going to mat it on white cardstock, and then I will put it on the blue, what is that, the 4x6 cut apart, but you're not going to see anything there. I just wanted the blue. Um, kind of like how I used it before on another layout. This poor little 4x6 cut apart, it was so cute with the doves on it, but I actually didn't use it that way. And so I'm just matting the photo, and it actually fits perfectly on there, so I'm just going to leave the edging around, and I think it's probably about 1/4 of an inch all the way around, and then I'll piece on the edges, the right and left side. And then I'm going to rough up the edges of that one. And then the pretty flower paper, since I didn't use that anywhere else on any of the other layouts, I don't believe, I wanted to use that as the photo mat. So I'm going to put this one down on top of it, and then I will ink up the edge. I believe Blue Jean is the color, Distress Oxide Faded Jeans. I'm going to use around the edge, and then I use my ink dauber that I actually use for black ink to rub it in. So it'll actually come out like a navy. What I was doing here is just wetting the back of this paper. If you wet the back of the mixed media paper, it'll lay flatter because it was warping up and I wasn't able to put the photo down. So I just wet it just a little bit with the spray bottle, and then took the paper towel and soaked it back up, and then kind of rolled it, and it laid flat enough so that I could finish creating on it. It was warped a little bit, but as you'll see in the album, you really can't tell that it's warped. So here, I'm just doing what I said with the faded blue jeans and my ink dauber. Put that away because I'm done with that. And then I'm going to add the title, which is Mr. and Mrs. And then I will use gold letters from my stash that I got it Tuesday morning. I actually have like 3 packs, I think, of these gold letters because they're just simple gold letters. And then the little heart is actually from an Amy Tan collection long ago. I believe it was a Valentine collection, but they were hearts, and they have the ampersand in the middle. And again, I won't make you watch me glue down all the letters just because for time purposes, I didn't want the video to get very much longer. So here I'm going to add the photo. Want to make sure it's center. I'm just using the grid to line it up and get it, pretty much in place where it needs to be. And I keep moving it from side to side. And I don't know why I didn't just lay it smack dab in between. It's an 11-inch paper, but I think I was thinking it was the 8.5 instead of 11. I don't know why that was confusing me, but it was. But anyways, it gets laid down. And then this is the heart paper, which I absolutely loved. So I tore it, and it's a little bit too long, so I'm going to tear it a little bit more. And then it will fit right at the top with the photo just before it gets to Mr. and Mrs. And then I will ink up the edges and laying it down. It actually looks like I tore my background paper versus laying it on top. But I just find that easier than trying to tear the background paper and then piecing it behind it, at least on this one, since majority of it is already attached down. Well, I guess only the photo's attached down at this point. The title's actually not attached down yet. I'll come back here in just a minute and everything will be attached down, but right now I'm just showing you how I'm going to attach the torn edges on each side, and they're not perfect. They're torn a little bit different on each side, but they're okay. And then I'm not sure what else I'm going to show you before it's just going to jump over and be done. It's pretty much done at this point. Like I said, just attaching these ones down, make sure they're straight and on the edge. And then I will attach down Mr. and Mrs. and I attach those down with the liquid glue. And I just make sure I go edge to edge. I didn't go all the way to the edge. Since they were a little bit warped, I just let them lay where they were, and they're fine. And I do have the dots at the end of Mr. and Mrs., so I will attach those down also. As you can see, when I push on the paper, it's definitely warped. Um, but like I said, it's not too bad, and you really can't see it when it's in the album. It looks straight. A little ampersand heart, which was perfect because this actually, the title of Michael Gary Kane, that gold font did not have an ampersand, which I thought was kind of weird. It has numbers, but it doesn't have any of the symbols, so no question marks, no ampersands, or anything like that. But it's okay. I made it work. And actually, the heart looks kind of cute in the middle of the flower. So, and it was the same gold. So, since all golds are not the same, I think now is where I'll fast forward. And actually, I didn't have any eyes either. So both of the eyes were K's, and I cut them off. So there you go. That's the final one. And I wish it was a better photo. I wish my uncle would have taken that photo. I'm not sure, there might have been one of those photos, but it's not here any longer. So this is what I have left. I showed you the sticker sheet. It's almost completely gone. There's a couple of chipboard, or actually those are all wood veneer from Some Assemblage Required. Those will go back in my stash. The puffy stickers, almost half of them are gone. The negatives, I didn't use as many of those as I thought I would. And this is the ephemera that I have left out of, what, 3 packages I started with? 4 packages. I didn't keep all the packaging. I was throwing that away as I was finishing it up or moving it to one package versus the other. But I believe I started with 4 of them. And I got it down to 1. And pretty much all that's left is a few flowers here and there. And then there's tags in here, and like I said, any of the papers that were 4x6, or if they were solid and I could punch something out of them, I left them in. This is the solid, like, green colored paper by Bo Bunny, and I'll put that actually back in the Bo Bunny stash. These here are the Simple Stories scraps, mainly 4x6 cut aparts is what they are on the other side. And then that one there I'll put in the ephemera pack. And then that's 49 in market. And then this piece here is my only Simple Stories piece that's left. So I think I did pretty good. I, pretty much killed what I bought to use for this collection. I did take out a couple, I think there was 3 or 4 brown wood grains that were left over, and I put those back in my wood grain stash. So here's the layouts. This is how they'll lay in the album. I kept them out of the page protector at first just because the page protector is even more of a glare. But I will flip through the album once I put them in there. And I ended up with, I believe, let me see, I ended up with 5 double page layouts and 7 single page layouts. So, and these 2 here I actually flip when they're in the album. And then this one here, this is one of the double ones, and then this is one of the other ones that's landscape, and then it's right next to a portrait one. And the 8.5 by 11 size-wise, is easy to flip. It's not like 12 by 12 where they're so large that, you definitely wouldn't be able to turn it. But there wouldn't be no reason to do it landscape in 12 by 12 because it's a square versus a rectangle. This one here I have flipped. I'll switch them. And then, so there's that one there. And then this is the final one of my mom. And I do have some photos of the guest. I probably will just do very simple layout and just lay their photos in there, and they'll go in between. It'll probably be a 2 or 3 or a 2 or 4 page layouts worth of those photos, and they're nothing fancy. I just want to be able to add everybody's name on them, so I'll probably do them there. And then you can see there in my album, the photos are already in my album. And that's how all of my albums are. So here's the close-ups to the final layout. So that's the end of the wedding kit, and tomorrow I will have a retro summer kit to add, and I will show everything for that one tomorrow. Bye!